Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm afraid that what I'm about to read, and which is an article on Germany, I predict that what this guy is doing with his life will be mandatory for the German population in the near future. And that's not a good thing. Let me read you what's going on here. This article comes from Sputnik from today, the 12th of December 2022. And this is the title. Head of German state restricts hot water in the shower time to 2 minutes amid energy crisis. Remember, this is a manufactured energy crisis. There is energy right there. They decided to impose an energy crisis on themselves. The energy is there, ready to be delivered. But they decided to impose sanctions, therefore it became a crisis. Let me read you what this idiot is doing, but I'm okay with that. If this would be just for this idiot's life, I would have any problems. You're free to do whatever you want. If you don't want to take a shower at all, that's your choice. The problem is, this is going to be set as an example, a positive example, and that would be imposed on the masses, on the population. Okay, Germany has found itself among the countries hardest hit by the Europe's largely self-inflicted energy crisis, and I really believe that to be true based on the evidence, with industry leaders expressing fears that the industrial powerhouse may be ripe for mass deindustrialization and job loss as companies pick up and leave for places like United States where energy is much cheaper. Now, remember this guy's name. So this is the minister president of Saxony-Anhalt. His name is Rainer Haseloff. A personal energy saving routine. So he has a personal energy saving routine, his own, including limiting the use of hot water in the shower to just 2 minutes and leaving rooms in his home without any heating. So this is what this minister president of Saxony-Anhalt, a little state, one of the 16 I think in Germany, right? He's making he makes a statement during an interview how great he is that he's limiting to 2 minutes the shower, which I'm not sure, okay? Anyway, and then he's leaving rooms unheated in the home. And listen to this. I'm quoting, "At home, warm water is only turned on briefly in the morning for showering. I'm done in maximum of 2 minutes, including a lathering break," end quote. The CDU politician boasted in an interview with local media. Why do you think he said that? To show how virtuous he is, and he's going to be set as an example for the rest of you, my German friends. In their East German built flat in the city of Erfurt, I've been to Erfurt, the Haseloff limit heating in the living room / dining room area, warming the air to a maximum of 20.5 degrees Celsius. Other rooms in the house are left unheated. You talk about returning to the cave times. Remember, you're in the 21st century in Germany. And I'm quoting, "My wife bought extra warm sleepers and always wear wool sweaters." Fantastic, fantastic. Why don't you sleep with them? Haseloff said nothing that the cold doesn't seem to have impacted his or his wife's health, and that neither of them have taken ill with a cold yet this season. The politician, who has been serving as the minister president of Saxony-Anhalt since 2011, lamented that, and I'm quoting, "Unfortunately, his home remains dependent on gas for its heating needs. The family is now on a waiting list for an air source heat pump and hopes it will be installed next summer," he said. Now, Haseloff has joined some other minister presidents of Germany's 16 federal states in personal economy drives amid the energy crunch pummeling the country. So what do you think that means? So these guys are using, I'm going to use my little mountain slope model, right? The final goal is restricting Germany overall as a regulation. They're going to impose it by the leaders, a mandatory limit of, I don't know, this amount of water that you can use, this amount of air you can breathe. I'm exaggerating with air, obviously, but with heating, with the consumption of energy. They will make it a policy because there is a crisis. The Germans, if they put up with this, I don't want to hear anybody saying again, how come nations could be so docile and follow certain kind of leaders into certain kind of actions, or in this case. Remember, I don't mind if this gentleman, no gentleman, I don't know if he's a gentleman, this man, his wife, they do whatever they want. What I don't like is when they tell me that that's the way I should live. Because it's a crisis. Well, the crisis is because of what? It's because of your sanctions. The sanctions your Bundestag and your weasels determined, right? Scholz and all those guys. That's the crisis. The energy is there. You choose not to access it. So it's a self-imposed crisis. And now you tell me, because this is the beginning as an example. See, we can do this. We are moral, which makes you immoral because you're going to consume. So we can do it. Let's do it. You'll see. You'll see they're going to get eventually when they're going to say, well, let's make this temporarily. You know, again, temporarily meaning, again, coming from this until it's going to be mandatory and continuous. No more, until they decide to change it in 50 years or never. I hope that the Germans refuse and how should I put it? Refuse to accept this kind of stupidity and say, hey, we are in the 21st century. I don't need to buy wool socks and slippers and all that, and hats like the Russians, the one where they put them around the ears. I don't want to. I do not want to live like that. I have a different vision of life. It's like they say, well, it's a crisis in a country and there are homeless people and there are people who don't have food. Therefore, you guys should live like them. How about you give up, half of your income every year, so basically work for half your income for the crisis to feed everybody else? Okay, would you do that? But that's going to be mandatory. There's not going to be a request. It's going to be mandatory. Remember, we live in this world and we have different vision on however we want to live. Now, those guys are limiting your way of living, your lives. Those guys are limiting. They're making it everyone live the same way. That reminds me of something. I think it was when I was a boy in the communist Romania, when most of us were living in flats, like animals. Why? Because the government could turn on and off the heat whenever they wanted, because there were a central distribution building that would provide the flats with hot water, with energy, with all these things. If they turn it off, all these flats, all these apartment buildings of the neighborhood were off. Everyone depended on the government. All right, so they're gonna get to that point. This guy that's boasting that how great he is, okay, that's you. It's fine, I don't care. I don't want to live like that. But he's gonna make me live like that, and I don't want to live like that. And the problem is, I want to see the German if they're gonna be docile on this. Remember, this crisis, you have nothing to do with this, nothing. It's a problem between two countries over there, and these guys determined that they will do what they do. They stop getting the heat for you, the energy, for other reasons, for other interests, from other countries, so you can have a shower of 2 minutes and no heat in the home, for Ukraine. And remember, these guys, I didn't hear any child in this thing. I heard only two, probably 50, 60, 70-year-old adults. But some people have children. And some people have a different way of life. They want to live. You're old, you want to live like that? That's fine. Other people don't want to live like that. I want to stay naked in my house, for instance. I want to stay in my underwear, or in boxers. But I can't, because they're going to impose on me to wear slippers and wool socks and all that. Now, I don't like this kind of, how should I put it? If there's no energy, I understand it, but there is energy. This is what bothers me. There is energy, but they don't let you access it. And who's they? I mean, this is the whole thing. You prevent me for living decent, or maybe in abundance. Why not? Who are you to dictate? Well, you are my democratically elected government, right? I thought that it was about, at least in the United States, the pursuit of happiness and all that. Psst. Well, my pursuit of happiness it starts from a different, certain kind of level. I want to have enough heat. I want to have enough electricity, water, hot water. These are the basic stuff that I wanted. The basic that I thought I'm in a 21st century America or Western countries. I expect that. And you say, what about the other ones? What do you mean, what about? Are we together holding hands or something? If that's so, then you go and work how much I work, and then we share. How about that? We're not in a common here. We're not in a kibbutz. You know, we're not in a Jewish kibbutz here, where we all work together and we eat together. That's not it. I didn't sign up for this. I don't like that. Why? Because I think we have different abilities and different needs. I don't want you to have my needs, and I don't want I to have your needs. And I don't want me to work for you. I don't want you to work for me. That's unfair. And I don't want to work like crazy. You work like nothing, and we earn the same amount, and we live the same life. That's unjust and stupid. And I would not do. What am I going to do? Nothing. And that's going to be a waste of quality, waste of skills. That's not how we did this. And energy, there is energy. It's just that these guys do not want to access it, and do not. It's a crisis, and the crisis, the manufactured crisis, is going to affect you. It's going to affect me as well. And all these guys, the free world. What's free about it? Remember, this is the first step. I predict that this will become little by little by little. They want to see how the Germans react to it. And then they're going to go to impose it. As I said, first, how about the suggestion? How about we make it 5 minutes? How about with this? And then they see how they react. It's the same thing with the frog. They put it in a bowl of water, put it on a burner. Warm, and it's going to become uncomfortable when you want to jump up. The frog cannot jump up because the muscles are all like that, and it's going to be boiling in that water. The same is with our population. Oh, it's okay, I can take it. Oh, I can take it, I can take it. And when you're going to say, I cannot take it now, it's too late. You can't do anything about it. The game's over, boy. Good luck. And this is what we're facing. And these guys doing this, no, you can do it. That's great for you. I don't want to hear that imposed on me. And the crisis, lift that crisis. I don't want to live my life in scarcity. I work like crazy. When I come home, I want to have everything I work for. Don't tell me I can't have because you impose sanctions. I disagree with that. You limit my work, then I don't want to work. Just give me the money. Just give me the money, but give me the product. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm angry because that reminds me of the scarcity I lived as a child. And I dislike that because I saw people with quality that had the same amount almost with people, drunks and pieces of shit. But because there was a system like that, you had almost the same, everybody. It was a small difference. And you see people, as I said, with skills, intelligence, ingenuity, and they were limited by the government, by the system. So this family had almost the same thing as the other family. The difference was small. Oh, we don't want to have inequality. Of course we want to have inequality if it's just inequality. If I'm better than you at doing something and you are worse than me, or vice versa, that's inequality. When am I supposed to be paid the same? Equity? That means you take from me and you give him. It's unjust. Or take from him and give me. So we can be equal. We're not equal. Equal opportunity, not equal outcome. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.